start with, what do you admire most about Steve?
The fact that despite the dangers and despite the annoyances of dealing with a friend who seemed to be unable to get it together, he still helps. He still does what he can to be a supportive factor in this person's life. And I love the fact that he has that kind of like empathy and compassion for a friend, and that he would put his own freedom at risk to make sure that his friend can get by, even if he's doing the most absurd things. I think that's a really great quality, and one that I feel I have too.
Steve is kind of pivotal in helping Jeff realize like other applications for his talents, for better and for worse. Have you ever had a situation in your life where someone else's perspective has sent you down like a revelatory path?
Yeah, yeah, I have. And most of it has come in the form of the music that I listen to.
Mhm.
There have been a few artists who have really kind of like shifted my perspective a bit. One of them being Kurt Cobain. Really early on in my teenage years, he was somebody who I just felt had this like raw honesty and spoke about love in a way that I thought was really beautiful, and talked about pain in a way that I felt I identified with. And Tupac was another one who was able to talk about, reaching back into his community and caring about the women in his community, and also being a person that if you tried to fight, we'll fight back. And there's also another, there's a guy named MC Ride who's a part of Death Grips, and this is hip hop collective out of Sacramento, who, really has this like individualistic approach toward his art, and is very focused on making things that are authentic and can stand the test of time. So there's a few people who, I like what they're doing.
Emotionally for Roofman, what was the most challenging scene to get right?
I'd say the birthday party scene was probably one that was a little difficult, in the sense that there were so many moving pieces, and we shot a
Mhm.
lot of that in blocks. And so, the police had to come in. There was choreography, not the real police, but the in-scene police had to come in. And there's a lot of choreography involved in that. And it was a big set day because there was a lot of extras and a lot of kids. And oftentimes when you have a lot of kids and things, it can be more challenging because they have to go to school, they got to eat, they got certain things that they got to do. So that means that our schedule needs to allot for that. And so that day was a little tricky. But another one that was pretty tricky was the day underneath the spotlight of the table, where I'm providing um, Jess with all of these different tools for him to leave and for him to
Mhm.
be ready to go. And that was just an intense moment with these like very intricate performance pieces that I needed to capture, which was just kind of like challenging to be able to do, because I needed to be a friend, but also needed to be stern and needed to be direct and needed to be hard ass on him. But I also needed him to, I wanted the audience to get a sense of like, I love this guy though. And there's a little like glint of that. So balancing those two things was like, spinning plates.
Yeah, it's the tough love, and I think it helps us as an audience be like, yeah, you're doing terrible things, but we're
Yeah,
rooting for you, man. Like, make the right choice here.
exactly.
What crime do you think you as you would be most equipped to pull off?
Maybe the crime of telling the truth, which seems to be increasingly a crime, and all throughout history has been. I'm not a good liar. I'm not a good stealer. I'm not good at being deceitful, but I'm good at being authentic. And I think that probably would be the thing that I would get in trouble for.
Broader question, but how do you define personal success now, and how has that changed from earlier in your life?
Personal success to me looks like spiritual growth, and being able to look back in the year and the previous years and be like, that guy would be proud of who you are now. And that feels good to me, to know that every year I can look back and say that. And if there are years that I can't, then I just know that there are more things for me to learn. And what was the second part of that question?
It was just, how do you define personal success now?
And how do I define personal success now? is it's the same, it's just all about to me, the part of the richness of life is being able to enjoy it and being
Mm.
able to exist in peace. And I don't believe that we're here to suffer. I think that we have a unique ability as humans to spread goodness, and I think that we should do that. And I think that life can feel good, and the people that meet you in it should work toward trying to make it a little bit better. And you should do that for them. That's just what I think. So I try to do that and I try to hold up those that do. And yeah, and it looks like success to me when you can sit and look at yourself in the mirror and you're healthy and you've done the things that you can do to make sure that you are that, you're strong and you're content and you can smile and you can be at peace.
Was there anything particularly catalytic in helping you realize that definition?
I think that if stress goes unchecked, it can kill you. And I think when you realize that stress affects every single morsel in your body, you value peace.
Mm, hell yeah. Okay, that is
Yeah.
my time. Thank you so much. Congrats on this film. It was so nice to speak to you.